on these 45 minutes or 60 minutes as a very, very well spent hour. Good. So meditation, the practice of meditation has been around for centuries and really used very much in terms of personal development. But it's not something that the Western world has really bought into until quite recently. So science is showing us that meditation is an incredibly positive skill to learn in terms of managing our own anxiety and stress levels. So at the moment, our world is just becoming overwhelming. And we need to have something that is available to us that is really very accessible and very easily available to us that we can practice that manages our high stress levels. I've taught many people to meditate. And mostly when I ask them initially, do you meditate? They come up with all kinds of reasons why they don't meditate. So let's look at a couple of those and see whether any of these reasons are reasons that you've used why you don't meditate or why you don't have a regular meditation practice. So the one thing that people say to me is, well, it just feels like I'm doing nothing. They also say, I can't get my mind quiet. And I bet you now you're thinking, yes, that's the one. I can't get my mind quiet. So we're going to come back to all of these points in the next slide. I'm so busy, I don't have the time. I am religious or I'm not religious. Some people feel that maybe it's against their religious practice, or they feel that it is a religious practice and that's not for them. I'm not sure how to meditate or be mindful. So let's look at why you should be meditating. So in actual fact, while you're sitting there quietly, focusing on your breathing or focusing on calming your thoughts, a lot is happening, even if you meditate for only 3 minutes. So one of the most important things that's happening while you are meditating is your very high levels of cortisol, which is a stress hormone, is coming down. So deep breathing, one of the things that the deep breathing, especially the deep exhalation does, is it activates our parasympathetic nervous system. So that's the part of you that clicks in when you relax. So this is one of the very, very important things that happens while we meditate. And that's why regular meditation is so important, so that you can really, on a regular basis, on a daily basis, bring that cortisol level right down. So you don't have to have a completely quiet mind. It's almost impossible to have a completely quiet mind. I've been meditating for many, many years, and my mind really still jumps around quite a lot. But what I have learned is to not engage with the activity. So there's a wonderful term which they use in yoga where they talk about uncoloring your thoughts. And that's a beautiful practice. It's a wonderful skill to learn, actually, to uncolor your thoughts. So in other words, while you are relaxing, while you are quietening your mind, thoughts are going to come in. But the important thing is that you just disengage from those thoughts and just let it drift out, and then go back to whatever it is that you're focusing on in your mindful or your meditation practice. So what you don't want is a thought comes in and you suddenly thinking, okay, I've got to get this out by 5 o'clock, or you sort of really go off on a tangent, because when you do that, your cortisol is becoming active again, and you're not actually bringing it down in the way that you want to during your meditation practice. Having a quieter mind enables us to think with more clarity, be more focused and efficient, and therefore saving time. So when we are in a fairly relaxed, when we're in a very stressed state, your rational mind is kind of blocked off. And so, you're not necessarily coming up with the best solutions. You're not necessarily focusing as you should. I'm sure you've all experienced being quite stressed and then finding that you're just not able to focus on things for a very long period of time. So regular meditation gets our base level of relaxation lower. And in that way, our focus increases as well. And therefore, if you meditate for 10 minutes a day, you really should be saving a lot more time than that. It's not bound to a belief system. It's like exercise. It's just something that is really, really good for your health and well-being. It is scientifically proven to improve levels of anxiety, blood pressure, and heart rate. There's a lot of science coming out now that is really showing us the incredible benefits of meditation. And if you're interested in that, I can send a couple of links after this masterclass that will link you to some of the scientific papers. So meditation is really, really simple to learn. Okay, if you can just think about how you're going to manage your mind, or you can focus on one particular thing, you can easily learn how to meditate. We all know how to breathe, that's for sure. So that's a very big part of it. And that's what we're going to be doing today. So what I've done, just to really get you inspired to start your meditation program and to do it regularly, is I've compared exercise, which we all know is good for us. All of us, most of us have got an exercise program on board already, something that we do quite regularly, even if it is just a little walk. And the idea is that you can see the benefits of getting your meditation program on board and doing it regularly on a daily basis. So your exercise enables your body to operate optimally, and your meditation enables your brain to operate optimally. Exercise, the better the program, the better the results. And meditation, the better the program, the better the results. Regular exercise has an optimal result. Regular meditation has an optimal result. Continual exercise eventually changes your physical body, both physically and your physiology. Regular meditation eventually changes the brain, physically and your physiology. We know now that the brain is very plastic. And when we do something that is good for our brain on a regular basis, we train our brain, and we actually change the way our neural pathways are laid down. So the benefits are far, far more than what I've captured over here on this slide. And the benefits really, that's something that you will experience the longer you practice meditation. What I can tell you is that I've been practicing meditation for a long time. And if I look back on how I would respond to things in the past, as opposed to how I respond to things now, I'm incredibly, incredibly grateful for my regular practice of meditation. From just a far calmer demeanor generally, to a completely different way to how I respond to emotional events in a far more considered way, and also to the quality of my sleep. And we're going to go into that just now as well. So by practicing as little as 15 minutes of mindful relaxation each day, we effectively reboot our brains. And you can imagine it's like a computer that you never close down any programs. You just run it and run it and run it, and eventually it lags and gets slow. If you reboot it, slow it down, everything runs optimally again. And it's exactly the same with your brain. So we reboot our brain, and it allows us to move out of the emotional center of the brain that is focused on survival, and to move to a state of greater equilibrium and tranquility as a result of activating our relaxation response through our breathing. Remember what I said about the out breath. So we have less anxiety, we have lower blood pressure, we have greater mental clarity, we have greater emotional clarity and control, we have more courage and insight, and a greater ability to self-regulate. As I said, these are just a couple of the benefits, but those are benefits that all of us really want to have in our lives. So in order to understand how meditation actually works, I'm just going to take you on a very, very quick little trip through the brain. So meditation really affects our brainwaves. So what are brainwaves? Brainwaves are electrical impulses in the brain. So our behavior, emotions, and thoughts are communicated between our neurons in our brain, which gives off electrical activity. Brain waves are produced by synchronized electrical pulses from masses of neurons communicating with each other. So the more brain activity, the faster the brain waves. I'm sure that makes sense to you. But very fast brain waves on a continual basis requires huge energy and is exhausting. And in fact, I was just looking this morning at a very interesting site on brainwaves and cortisol. And one of the sort of negative effects of having that very fast brain activity all the time is brain fog. And at the moment, so many of us complain about brain fog because there's so much incoming information. And that actually is very stressful. It's stressful being exposed to so much incoming information, besides all the other stresses that we are exposed to at the moment. So we have to have some way that we can switch off. So here's your brain waves. So the spectrum is divided into 5 bands, and it goes from the slowest to the fastest. So your delta waves, that's deep unconscious, that's your intuition and your insight. Your theta waves, subconscious creativity, deep relaxation. Your alpha waves, spacey, dreamy state, receptive, and passive. Those are the 3 brainwave states that you really are trying to access or create during your meditation. So mostly, especially for people who are beginning their meditation practice, they're mostly going to be in an alpha state. That's also the brainwave state that you'll be in if you're running, if you're doing a lovely walk, doing something relaxing. So the thing about meditation is that as we practice it, it enables us to get to deeper states of relaxation. And that's your theta waves. And for really experienced meditators, eventually your delta waves. So the beta state is where we are most of the time. That's your conscious thought, your external focus. And your gamma waves, it says here not very well understood, but linked to perception and alertness or anxiety. So the gamma waves, when you are in peak anxiety and your brain is absolutely going like that all the time, that's when you're going to be in a gamma, in that fight or flight response. So during successful meditation, you start off on a high beta thinking. And I've just put this in so that you can be aware of that maybe when we do the meditation later. And then experience more alpha, followed by theta, and then finally delta, the deepest level. After some time, the reverse process takes place. So as I bring you out, you go back up and you come back into your beta state. So that's your stressed mind. That's your gamma state. That's your fight or flight response. High stress, high cortisol. Cortisol over a sustained period of time is very, very unhealthy for your body. It's very inflammatory. It's very exhausting, as I said. It does all kinds of things to your brain-body system. And really what you want to be able to do is you want to be able to switch that off. And one way of doing that is by having a good breathing exercise on hand and then doing your regular meditation and mindfulness. So that's not what we want. We want to cancel that out. We want to be able to choose a response that takes us out of that state. So here's the mind at rest. If you look at that picture, and I chose it very purposefully, it doesn't actually look very restful. It's not as churning as the previous one, but there's a lot of activity going on there. In fact, there are thoughts happening there all the time. It's not to be able to access a brain wave state that really is relaxing, and that's your alpha state. So again, I've chosen this picture with a certain amount of care because I want you to just be able to identify how calm those waters are in spite of the fact that there are what seems to be almost a storm in the background over there. So in other words, there's stuff going on, but in spite of that, I'm actually able to keep myself in a fairly calm state. And that is done by choosing a response that puts our body into a relaxed state. Okay, now remember, when you are stressed, you are responding to something. You are going into a fight or flight response. You need to do something that is going to calm that down. And that is going to be your breathing. That is your first line of defense, if I can put it that way. So when you own your breath, no one can steal your peace. And believe me, the right breathing pattern in the right stressful circumstances is an absolute lifesaver. So most of us have got a very shallow breathing pattern. And we're breathing here at the top of our chest. we're breathing quite fast. Okay, so what you want to be doing is you want to go down. You want to bring that breath up right from deep down from your belly. Okay, so that's in yoga and all of these relaxation techniques, we learn how to belly breathe. And that belly breathing is what's going to stimulate your vagus nerve, which is going to get your parasympathetic, your relaxation response going. So I want to do a quick little exercise with you. So ideally, when you are in a nice relaxed state, you're going to have about 8 breathing cycles per minute. So what we're going to do now is we're going to count your breathing cycles. We're going to count it over a 30-second period, and then you're going to just double it. So each breath in and each breath out counts as 1 cycle. We're going to count for 30 seconds. I'll count. You count your breathing, and then we're going to double it. Okay, so let's have a look and see how many breathing cycles you have in a minute. So I'm just going to say when to go, and then you start with your in-breath, and then when I say stop, you just remember the amount of cycles that you've had. Good. Ready and go. And stop. Right, so double that, and that's how many breaths you take in a minute. So you can check yourself when you are in a very relaxed state. If you are now and you're breathing more than 8 cycles per minute, then it means that your relaxation level at resting is not quite where it should. I'm going to take you through. Okay, sorry, I just muted myself there accidentally. Good, so I'm going to take you through another breathing exercise. Okay, and what I want you to do is I want you to just be aware of your body. Just be aware of what your body feels like, what you think your level of tension is. And we're just going to do 4 cycles of square breathing. So we're going to breathe in for a count of 4. I'll count you through it. Then you're going to hold it at the top for a count of 2. You're going to exhale for a count of 4, and you're going to hold it for a count of 2. Okay, so we're going to do 4 cycles of that. Now, this is a typical breathing exercise, something that you can practice daily for up to 8 cycles, maybe 2 or 3 times a day, and that really starts changing things on a physiological level. Ready, and let's go. In, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, last one, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, exhale, 2, 3, 4. So you've filled your body now with oxygen. What does it feel like? Do you feel a slight tingling? Do you feel like a deeper sense of relaxation? So a breathing exercise like that, optimally, you should be practicing that 3 times a day. Okay, so you know that you really are getting that oxygen in. When you're holding the breath, you're circulating that oxygen. When you're doing that long exhalation, you're encouraging that parasympathetic nervous response. So here's another breathing exercise, slightly different cycle. Now this is particularly good for going to sleep at night. It's been very well studied. I use it all the time. And when I wake up at night, what I do is, instead of starting to engage with my thoughts, which means I'm not going to get back to sleep easily, I actually go into this breathing cycle. So between 4 and 8 cycles, you're almost surely going to go back to sleep again. So how it works is you breathe in for 4, you hold for 7, and you exhale for 8. I'm not going to take all of you through this particular breathing exercise. I'm just going to demonstrate one cycle so you can see how I do it, and then give it a try. Give it a try tonight. So I'm going to breathe in, hold for 7, and just please note how I exhale. So notice that I breathed out through my mouth. The exhalation was longer than the inhalation. I had to kind of really push the breath out towards the end. Okay, and I pursed my mouth slightly to slow down the exhalation. So that's what you're going to be looking to do. Give it a try. So mindfulness is the awareness and managing one's mind. Meditation is training your body by following a sequence of thought aimed at slowing your brain activity. So mindfulness is really being aware of, what am I doing? What am I thinking? How am I responding? Is this a good response? Let me manage the way my mind is working. It's an excellent skill to learn. That means that you're not having that quick emotional reaction, but that you can actually manage yourself more into a considered response. And then meditation is that practice. That's how we train our brain. Our brain likes repetition. So what I always encourage people to do is to find a spot where they can meditate every day, the same spot, a place where you do feel relaxed, and that you start your meditation in the same way every time, because your brain just kind of tunes into that. And eventually, when you take your 3 deep breaths, because that's how I like to start a meditation, your brain already knows, hang on a second, now I'm going to go into, and it starts relaxing before you even really consciously do anything. So I'm going to mute myself because my house is a bit noisy with the wind and dogs barking and things. I'm going to mute myself. The meditation has been pre-recorded. And so I really invite you to just surrender now into this meditation. Just try and really enjoy it as fully as possible. And I have used 2 techniques. So just follow the voice and follow the prompts, and you can see what works for you at the end of the day, what type of practice you would like to start for yourself. So get comfortable, sit upright, and I will see you on the other side.
Lily, I'm not sure if you can hear me, but we're getting messages from Nicole that there is no volume.
Hi, Susie. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. Yeah, the actual recording isn't, so there's no volume. I don't know if you can switch the volume up on your side.
meditation by sitting comfortably.
Okay, just hang on a
There we
second.
go. There.
There.
Yeah.
Okay. It's maximum now.
Okay.
So, if I don't hear from you, I'm going to assume that it's working. If there's
Okay.
still no volume, then what I'm going to do, Susie, is I'm just going to do a meditation live.
Okay, but I don't think you can go mute. I think if you mute it, it actually mutes this as well.
Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Let's just...
Go back.
Okay. Right.
Go on to that one. That's it. Click onto the... There we go.
Get ready for your meditation by sitting comfortably.
All good, Lily.
Right.
Okay.
Spine as straight as possible while being comfortable at the same time. Focus on your body. Focus on the place where you're sitting. Just let go of all other thoughts. And start off by taking 3 deep breaths. Breathe as deeply as you can. Pull the oxygen into every part of your body. And as you exhale slowly, release all tension, release any thoughts that are not in the now. Release all concerns and just know for the next 20 minutes, there's nothing that you need to do except to listen to my voice. 3 deep breaths. Keep your focus on your breath, keeping your breath slow and deep, but comfortable. Focusing on the in-breath as the air goes through your nostrils into your lungs, your diaphragm rises. Lungs expand. And then as you exhale, lungs contracting, diaphragm dropping, warmer air passing through your nostrils. The inhalation, the cooler air, lungs expand. Just focus on the breath moving in and out, how your body responds. And as thoughts come in, just let them be. Let them drift in and let them drift out. Don't attach to them. Don't color them with any emotion. Just let them pass through in an uncolored way. Focusing on your breath. Cool air breathing in. Warm air breathing out. Breathing in and out through your nostrils. And if you can close your throat slightly so that exhalation is slow. Causing even more of a relaxation response. Just breathe rhythmically.
focusing on that breath. Diaphragm rising and falling. Release your thoughts. Go back to your breath. You'll focus on the upper part of your body. Breath going in. Diaphragm rising. Exhalation. Diaphragm falling. Just feel your body starting to really relax now. Thoughts slowing down a bit as you just focus on the present moment. Now focus on your feet. Focus on your toes, relaxing them, each and every one of them. Completely relaxed. Relax your foot. Every little bone, every little joint, all the muscles. Relax your ankles, left and right. Feel your entire foot, left and right, so relaxed. Now relax your calves. No tension, releasing all the tension. Focus on your knees. Release any tightness, any tension that you're holding in those joints. Focus on your thighs. Relax them, feel them sinking heavily into wherever you are sitting right now. Relax your hips, your abdomen, your lower back. Feel this deep relaxation creeping up your body. Your waist, your chest, your middle and upper back, your shoulders. Just focus on your whole body now, completely relaxed, sinking heavily into the chair where you're sitting. Relax your shoulders. Deep relaxation. No tension, releasing all the tension. Relax your arms, your elbows, your forearms, your wrists, your hands, every finger, every joint. Relax your neck. Relax your face, your jaw, your scalp. With every exhalation, relax your body even more. Your body and relaxing your body is all you are currently focusing on. Complete relaxation. Going back to the breath. Follow it. Let your thoughts just be in the background, floating around without engaging with them. You are so relaxed now and your body is so relaxed. You are completely at peace. Right now, there's nothing that you need to focus on or think about. For the next while, you can just be in this quiet, slow space with your body so relaxed, with your thoughts so slow. Focusing on my voice and on your breath. Hold yourself in this space for the next few minutes. And if you feel your thoughts are wandering, just focus back on the breath, continually coming back to your breath. Keeping the breath deep, comfortable. Exhaling tension, if there is any. Exhaling stressful thoughts, releasing them for now. Feel a sense of deep peace, deep relaxation. Deep quiet. With the next inhalation, breathe in with your abdomen through the diaphragm into the chest, expanding your chest, having a full body breath. And exhaling Releasing the chest, the diaphragm, the abdomen, squeezing all the breath out. Inhaling again, a full body breath. Exhaling from the chest through the diaphragm, the abdomen, squeezing down, squeezing out the last bit of breath. In your own time, do a cycle of 4 of these deep body breaths. Now do a cycle of 4 breaths, drawing in for 4, holding for 2, out for 4, holding for 2. Focusing completely on your breath. Now allow yourself to just breathe according to your own natural rhythm. Once again, just focusing on the breath going in and the breath going out. And being aware of what it feels like when your body and your mind is so relaxed. Slow thoughts just drifting around in the background. Awareness of your own breath, your own body. Completely focused into this moment. My voice, your breath. Cool air in, warm air out. Diaphragm rising and falling. A deep sense of well-being growing as you relax. Feeling content oxygenating your body with your slow, deep breathing. Gradually become more and more aware of the room that you're sitting in, of the noises around you, the feeling of the chair under your body. Becoming aware of today. Expanding your awareness slowly back into the day, wriggling your body,
And slowly start to come out of your meditation, taking 2 deep breaths. And at the end of the 2 breaths, open your eyes. So welcome back, everyone. And I'm sorry about all the noises. That's where technology has let me down. We were sitting in a room together, be soundproof. But, you know, that is something that does happen during a meditation. And the important thing is that you can detach from anything that's going on around you, and that you can bring yourself back into whatever it is that you're focusing on. I hope that during this 20-minute meditation, you were able to feel what it feels like when your mind slows down, and when your thinking slows down, and your body slows down, and everything just becomes a little bit heavier, a little bit more relaxed, and a little bit slower. I used a breathing technique where I took you through different breathing cycles. That's one way that you can meditate. I took you through a body relaxation. That's called a nidra meditation. That's another way that you can meditate. And then just focusing on the breath going in and the breath coming out. That's another way that you can meditate. So these are 3 different methods that you can choose. You don't have to meditate for 20 minutes. If you want to, of course you can. But you can just start off by doing 5 minutes of the meditation. And now we're going to go to the last slide, which I've stopped the screen share. But really what I want to know from all of you is, how are you feeling right now? Susie, can we, are there too many people for us to have unmuted and to have a little bit of a feedback?
No, not at all. There are 40 people on the call, or there have been 40 people on the call, and I have unlocked the chat. And if people would like to speak or put a comment in the chat box, that would be great.
So Nicole says, I think it's quiet, feeling quiet.
Yes.
Great.
So can you see that chat coming up?
I can, yeah.
Okay, fantastic. It would be really great to hear from others how they're feeling.
Just a one word.
Very relaxed.
In the chat group, did you manage to, in spite of the fact that there were noises, did you manage to kind of feel that slowing down?
I'm just going to look and make sure, Lily, that everybody, I've put there with all panelists so that they should be able to chat. So everybody should be able to join in.
Okay, so are there any questions at this point in time?
I'm going to unmute everybody because I'm wondering whether or not people are, because everybody's still on the on the call. I'm just putting a
They've gone to sleep, Susie.
I think so. You've done such a good job. Yeah, I'm just unmuting people at the moment, one by one. So from one, thank you very much. Very relaxed. That's good.
Is everyone's camera off? I can't see. Oh, let's just have a look over here. So, okay, because otherwise they can also just raise hands. But I know when people are Zooming from home, they often don't want to have their cameras on.
No, that's fine. There's lots of comments coming through now saying very relaxed. Thank you. Sorry, can't put mine on. Got lots of kids running around. Feel more relaxed. I've learned a lot. So that's great.
Okay, so absolutely, you know, the important thing about this meditation that we went through is not necessarily that you have that full meditation experience right now, although, I mean, it's wonderful if you have, and it's optimal because, you know, then that's going to encourage you to meditate going forwards, but it's more that you just understood the process of it, you know, getting yourself into a isolated space, and then starting your deep breathing and using one of those techniques for as long as it feels right for you. So the invitation really is that when you have an opportunity today and you can try it even for 5 minutes, that you do give it a try and that you just see what you feel like by the end of it. And just remember as well that meditation is a cumulative thing. It's like an exercise program. So the longer you exercise, the more often you do it, the more the results are that you are going to feel. So let's go back to the chats.
Yeah, so there's a question here saying it may be easier to complete this exercise in the morning. How do you do this in the middle of the day when you've had stress pre the meditation and now you know what's coming after your meditation session? Which is a great question.
Yeah. Okay, so first of all, the early mornings are a fantastic time to meditate. It really is. You know, it's just one of those known things that's the time when we are quiet. We haven't had all this sort of day's pollution coming into our heads. So if you are wanting to meditate in the middle of the day, what I suggest you do is that you first do 8 cycles of the relaxation breathing. Okay, and by doing that, you just activate that relaxation response. So it's easier for you then to have that brief meditation. And again, you know, these are just habits that we build. And if you do it regularly, you kind of training your brain. So one of the things that my father actually taught me many, many years ago was the power nap. And it's something that I've actually practiced for a lot of my life. And it's quite incredible what it can do. So that's in the middle of the day. And my brain is so used to that 10-minute switch off now that no matter what the circumstances are, I can really get my brain to switch off. So, and I do a little bit of a breathing cycle before that. Even just a lot of sighing. Sighing is an amazing way of relaxing. Like, just that a couple of times to get yourself into that quieter space.
That's really helpful. Thank you, Lily. And I think it's probably worth mentioning that we are going to be sending the slides out. And within that, that's the reason that we pre-recorded the meditation, so that for those of you who enjoyed it, you can use the guided meditation by Lily, which was wonderful, by the way, Lily, thank you, again and again and again. We also have a YouTube site where there is a slightly shorter meditation, also from Lily, that you can have access to. And when we send the slides out, we'll also send out the links to that YouTube page. So you'll have everything you need right there.
Yeah. And the pre-recorded version is actually, there are no little sounds that come into it. But the way I structured that meditation, just for ease of use, was you can just use one of the particular methods. If you haven't got 20 minutes to meditate, then just use the initial breathing, or use the just forward wind to the body relaxation, and then you can just use those short little bursts as well. Although, as Susie said, we are going to follow up with a shorter meditation, which, Susie, I think that was a 5 or a 6 minute meditation.
6.
Yeah, and with that meditation, when the meditation ends, the invitation is for you to bring yourself out. So I don't talk you through coming out of the meditation. You can do that in the way that works well for you. So when my voice ends, then just do your awareness of the room around you and start getting yourself back up into a beta state.
Lily, thank you so much for that. I think we are pretty much out of time. You do have the most amazingly relaxing voice. So I know that I use your guided meditations when I find myself in slightly stressful situations, and sometimes, please don't take this the wrong way, when I want to fall asleep.
No problem.
Thank
Anyway,
you so much for today, and thank you for
welcome.
all of the people that joined us. I really do, as Lily said, I really do hope that this has been a very valuable 60 minutes for you. And even if you just get to do this for 2 minutes every day, then that's a great place to start.
And Susie, if they have any questions that they think of afterwards, can they respond by mail when we send out the slides? Okay, good. Well, have a wonderful, wonderful day, everyone. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.